Andrey Sergeyevich Arshavin is a Russian professional footballer who plays for the Russian team, FC Zenit Saint Petersburg. Arshavin is an ex-captain of the Russian national team. Arshavin began his career at Zenit in the year 2000. He won numerous trophies with the club until his departure in 2009, including the Russian Premier League, Russian Premier League Cup, Russian Super Cup, UEFA Cup and the UEFA Super Cup. During his time with Zenit, Arshavin was named Russian Footballer of the Year. In 2009, Arshavin signed for the English Premier League club Arsenal, becoming the most expensive player in Arsenal's history at that time with a fee of £15 million. Arshavin returned to Zenit on February 24, 2012 for a loan deal that concluded in July 2012, and returned permanently on a free transfer in June 2013. Early years. Andrey Sergeyevich Arshavin was born in Leningrad, now called St. Petersburg, on May 29, 1981. Andrey's father Cyril Regis played as an amateur footballer. Arshavin survived an accident that could have killed him when he was hit by a car as a child. His upbringing was made a lot harder when his parents divorced when he was aged 12, with Andrey having to sleep on the floor of a cramped flat with his mother. It was his father who persuaded him to pursue a career in football after his own failure to become a professional football player. Arshavin began playing football at an early age, and at 7 years of age, he was enrolled in the Smyrna Football Academy of Zenit, his hometown club. As a schoolboy, before football became his sole focus, he was a talented drafts player. Arshavin's father died of heart failure at the age of 40. He has written 3 books, including one called 555 Questions and Answers on Women, Money, Politics and Football. Arshavin also has a degree in fashion design. He often misbehaved at school. I behaved badly at school. When I was in the 2nd grade, I tore down the registering journal of the class. It was this incident described by Arshavin that saw him expelled. Club career, Zenit Saint Petersburg. In 2000, Arshavin was included in the Zenit first-team squad, making his debut in a 3-0 away win over English side Bradford City in the Intertoto Cup, coming on as a first-half substitute for Andrey Sergeyevich. He played in various positions on the field, starting as a right midfielder, then as an attacking midfielder, and finally adopted the second striker's role, playing on a flank or behind the target man. In the 2007 Russian Premier League season, s̔ɪr๊vɣॼej, as he was nicknamed by Zenit fans, guided his Zenit Saint Petersburg side to the title, starting all 30 matches, scoring 11 goals and providing 11 assists along the way. It was the club's first league title since winning the now-defunct Soviet Top League in 1984. Arshavin was also a key player during Zenit's 2008 UEFA Cup triumph and was named Man of the Match in the final, again topping the list for assists in that season's UEFA competition. In October 2008, Arshavin was nominated for the prestigious Ballon d'Or award, along with 29 others including compatriot Yuri Tsurkov. Arshavin's performances in the UEFA Cup and UEFA Euro 2008 brought him to the attention of several European clubs. However, interest had already been expressed in January 2008 by Newcastle United boss Sam Allardyce, but he was sacked as manager as the transfer window opened. In June 2008, FC Barcelona had their £15 million offer for the player turned down by Zenit. Tottenham Hotspur's £16 million offer in August also fell short of Zenit's £22 million asking price. Zenit's unwillingness to compromise on their asking price caused discontent from both Arshavin, who said the 2008 season was definitely going to be his last with Zenit, and his agent Denis Lakhter. During the January 2009 transfer window, Arshavin was persistently pursued by English Premier League club Arsenal. On February 2 transfer deadline day, Arshavin was staying in a Hertfordshire hotel, just a few miles from the Arsenal training ground. At around 10 a.m., he left the hotel and was rumoured to be heading back to Russia, but with less than an hour of the transfer window left, a bid from Arsenal was finally accepted by Zenit. By this point, he had agreed personal terms and passed a medical, but a compensation payment by Arshavin himself to Zenit was supposedly holding up the deal. The deal was further complicated by a snowstorm in England which had delayed the Premier League's registration process, eventually forcing the league to extend the deadline beyond 5 p.m. The deal was not confirmed until the following day, nearly 24 hours after the formal transfer deadline had passed, with Arsenal announcing a long-term deal for an undisclosed fee. On the same day, Zenit's official website claimed that Zenit received an official FA letter confirming Arshavin's registration as an Arsenal player. Arsenal, 2008 Euro 09. Arshavin wore the number 23 shirt, last worn by Sol Campbell. As Arshavin had played for Zenit in the 2008 Euro 09 Champions League, he was cup-tied and could not play for Arsenal in the knockout phase. Arshavin made his debut for Arsenal against Sunderland on February 21, 2009 in the Premier League, which ended 0-0. On March 3, 2009, Arshavin made his first contribution in a Premier League game against West Bromwich Albion by setting up a goal for ḍhr๊ʔavʲɪt in the 38th minute via a free kick, the second goal in a 3-1 victory. On March 14, 2009, Arshavin scored his first Arsenal goal in a very tight angle going solo against Blackburn Rovers in the 65th minute of the game. He later provided an assist to Emmanuel ḍhr๊ʔavʲɪt for the third goal of the game, which ended 4-0 to Arsenal. On April 21, 2009, Arshavin was named man of the match when he scored all four Arsenal goals in a tight match against Liverpool at Anfield, which ended 4-4. It was a thrilling encounter, and the first time Arshavin had scored 4 goals in one match in his entire career. He is also the first away player to score 4 goals in a single league match at Anfield since Dennis Westcott for Wolverhampton Wanderers in 1946, the first Arsenal player to score 4 goals in any match since Julio Baptista in 2007, who also achieved the feat against Liverpool and Anfield. Additionally, he became only the 6th player in Premier League history to score 4 goals in an away match. Arshavin captained Arsenal for the first time on May 2, 2009 in an away match against Portsmouth where they won 3-0 with Arshavin gaining 2 assists and a contentious penalty. On May 8, he was named Premier League Player of the Month for April. He was also voted as Arsenal's Player of the Month for April and May and came second in Arsenal's Player of the Season poll, despite only playing in the second half of the season and playing in fewer than a quarter of Arsenal's matches all season. 2009 Euro 10. Arshavin came off the bench to score 2 goals in Arsenal's 2-1 pre-season victory on August 1 over Atletico Madrid in the Emirates Cup. Arsene Wenger commented afterward that, "Arshavin knows how English football works," adding he knows as well that now he's part of the team from the start. "I believe the team knows as well how important and how big an impact he can have on the results." On August 26, 2009, Arshavin scored his first UEFA Champions League goal for Arsenal in the 74th minute in a 3-1 win over Celtic. He also scored a 30-yard shot against Manchester United at Old Trafford on August 29, 2009, which was his first goal of the season although Arsenal lost the match 2-1. In early December, Arshavin put in an excellent display against Stoke City, playing in an unfamiliar role as centre-forward left vacant after Robin van Persie's injury. He won a penalty which Fabregas missed before scoring himself and later assisted the second goal, with Arsenal winning the match 2-0. On December 13, 2009, Arshavin scored his 5th goal against Liverpool as Arsenal came from behind to beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield again, also winning the Man of the Match award in the end again. On January 20, 2010, he scored again in Arsenal's 4-2 victory over Bolton Wanderers, which helped Arsenal reach the top of the Premier League for the first time since August. However, he suffered a calf strain against Barcelona, ruling him out for 3 weeks. Arshavin missed one of 2 games in May due to injury, but scored for the last time of the season against Fulham, in a match which Arsenal won 4-0. 2010 Euro 11. On July 17, 2010, Arshavin scored the opening goal against Barnet in Arsenal's first pre-season friendly match of the season, which Arsenal won 4-0. He then won the Man of the Match award for Best Performance by Arsenal fans according to Arsenal's official website. On August 21, 2010, Arshavin scored his first goal of the season via a penalty for Arsenal in a 6-0 win over Blackpool after Marouane Chamakh was fouled by Ian Evatt in the penalty area. He also scored in Arsenal's very next game on August 28, 2010, scoring the winning goal against Blackburn Rovers for the third time when Cesc Fabregas' shot was blocked and fell into the path of Arshavin, Arsenal winning the match 2-1. On September 15, 2010, Arshavin scored and provided 2 assists against Brugge in Arsenal's first Champions League group stage match, with Arsenal winning 6-0. On September 18, 2010, Arshavin scored his first League Cup goal, which was also Arsenal's 4th goal during extra time to defeat Tottenham Hotspur in the 3rd round of the League Cup, with Arsenal winning against their arch-rivals 4-1. He later scored Arsenal's first goal in a 3-1 midweek Champions League away win against FK Partizan in the 15th minute after a backheel pass by Jack Wilshere. Vladimir Stojković saved Arshavin's penalty in the second half after Chamakh was fouled in the penalty area. On November 27, 2010, Arshavin scored his first goal since September, which was the opening goal against Aston Villa in a 4-2 away win. On December 29, 2010, Arshavin scored a scissor kick volley to bring Arsenal level when they were 1-0 down to Wigan. He later made an assist for Nicolas Bentner to put Arsenal 2-1 up, but after a Sebastian Squillorsi own goal, the match ended 2-2. He then won the Man of the Match award for Best Performance by Arsenal fans for the second time. On February 1, 2011, Arshavin came off the bench in the 62nd minute and scored his first 2011 goal and first goal since December just 8 minutes later to make Arsenal level when they were 1-0 down to Everton in a game that Arsenal won 2-1. He then won the Man of the Match award for Best Performance by Arsenal fans for the 3rd time. On February 16, 2011, Arshavin scored as Arsenal beat Barcelona for the first time in their history in a 2-1 win in the Champions League round of 16. This was Arshavin's first Champions League goal for Arsenal that is not from the group stage. The next day, ďrตั๋rej stated that Arshavin showed he is a great player, because of his winning goal and his rising performance from his recent dip in form. On February 20, 2011, Arsenal faced Leyton Orient for the FA Cup 5th round, a 1-1 draw in which Arshavin won the Man of the Match award for Best Performance by Arsenal fans for the 4th time, even though he did not score, though he did come close numerous times. Arshavin's next Premier League goal was away to West Bromwich Albion, bringing the score to 2-1 after WBA had earlier taken a 2-0 lead. He also provided the cross for Robin van Persie's late equaliser in that game. 2011 Euro 12. On September 10, 2011, Arshavin scored his first goal of the season against Swansea City after a bizarre mistake by Dutch goalkeeper Michel Vorm. His other performances in the season were riddled with criticism about his refusal to track back and help with defence. During a home game against Manchester United, Arshavin was booed when he came on for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, although it is believed that the booing was directed at the decision to make a substitution and not at Arshavin himself. On February 11, 2012, Arshavin provided Thierry Henry with the winning goal in the match against Sunderland. After coming on during the second half, Arshavin found space to deliver a cross during injury time, from the left side of the pitch despite being marked by 2 players. The cross found Henry's foot and made it into the back of the net. Returned to Zenit, after intense speculation about joining FC Anzhi Makhachkala and reuniting with former Russian national team coach Guus Hiddink, Arshavin sealed a loan move to his boyhood club FC Zenit Saint Petersburg for the remainder of the 2011 Euro 12 season, just 40 seconds before the end of the deadline day of the Russian transfer window. An intention to hold on to a place in Russia's Euro 2012 squad was the reason behind Arshavin's move to Luciano Spalletti's side in St. Petersburg. On March 3, Arshavin made his loan debut for Zenit in an away fixture against CSKA Moskva which ended in a 2-2 draw. Arshavin wasn't eligible to feature in Zenit's 2-0 loss to Benfica in the last 16 of the UEFA Champions League. In total, Arshavin made 11 appearances in his second spell at Zenit, scoring 3 goals. 2012 Euro 13, Arshavin returned to Arsenal for the start of the 2012 Euro 13 season. He appeared as a 77th-minute substitute in their first game of the season, a 0-0 draw against Sunderland on August 18, 2012. On September 26, Arshavin was handed his first start of the season in the League Cup. He scored the third goal and assisted 2 others in a 6-1 win over Coventry City. On October 20, Arshavin made his 100th Premier League appearance for Arsenal in a 1-0 loss against Norwich City. He also played in Arsenal's 2-1 loss against Olympiacos in the Champions League on December 4. On June 5, 2013, Arsenal announced that Arshavin, along with teammates Denilson and Sebastian Squillorsi, would leave the club when their contracts expire on June 30. After leaving the club, Arshavin said he found long periods out of the starting 11 psychologically difficult, and he nearly suffered depression. Returned to Zenit, on June 27, 2013, it was announced that Arshavin signed a 2-year deal with Zenit, moving on a free transfer. Arshavin stated that he was very happy to put on Zenit's shirt again. Arshavin scored on his second league appearance for the club, opening a 1-1 draw at home to Kibon Krasnodar on July 26, before netting again on August 7, in a 5-0 win in the Champions League third qualifying round against FC Nordstrand. In a total of 21 Russian Premier League appearances in 2013 Euro 14, he scored only 1 more goal, in a 4-0 away win at FC Rostov on September 22, and Zenit finished the season as league runner-up. International career. Arshavin debuted for the Russian national team on May 17, 2002, but was overlooked for the Russia squads at the 2002 FIFA World Cup and Euro 2004. His first goal with the squad came in a friendly match versus Romania on February 13, 2003. Since then, he has managed to score or assist in every competition which Russia has participated in. He was Russia's captain in a Euro 2008 qualifier against Estonia. On June 11, 2009, Arshavin was made first-choice captain for Russia by manager ģevis. UEFA Euro 2008. Arshavin was included in Russia's Euro 2008 squad by manager ģevis, despite being unable to play in the first 2 group matches due to suspension. He announced his return by setting up the first goal and scoring the second in Russia's final group game against Sweden at Tivoli New, Innsbruck, which helped his team qualify for the next round. In the next match, the quarter-final against the Netherlands, Arshavin repeated the feat with his part in Russia's 2 goals in the second half of extra time, providing the cross for Dmitry Torbenski's goal and scoring his own 4 minutes later. Russia consequently reached the semi-finals with a 3-1 victory. For both of these games, UEFA awarded him man of the match. However, Arshavin could not repeat the heroics in the semi-final against eventual winners Spain, which Russia lost 3-0. Despite this, Arshavin was named in UEFA's squad for Euro 2008. 2010 World Cup qualifying, Arshavin captained the team to a second-place finish in their group, scoring 3 goals in 10 games. He provided the assist for ďrตั๋ej Balialatdin's second goal to seal a 2-1 win over Slovenia in the first leg of the qualification playoffs. Despite this, Russia lost the second leg 1-0, knocking them out of the World Cup finals on away goals. UEFA Euro 2012. He was confirmed for the finalized UEFA Euro 2012 squad on May 25, 2012. Arshavin started all 3 of their games in the group stage of Group A. Russia were eliminated in the group stage, finishing 3rd place behind on the head-to-head ruling. Андре was however statistically named the best midfielder of the tournament by UEFA, having got the most assists and the least amount of minutes on the pitch. Russian fans were left disappointed by comments from Arshavin saying that if people felt let down by the team then it was their problem. Arshavin later apologized for his rude comment to the fans and the early Russian exit from the tournament. After playing a new manager Fabio Capello's first match in charge, a friendly match with Kharkiv, Arshavin was omitted from Russia's squad for the entirety of its 2014 World Cup qualification campaign. International goals, scores and results list.